Hello everyone and welcome to another lockdown chat. Today, very fortunate to be talking to two people, a couple who are involved with Taekwondo and very well-known couple in the north of the state, and we're going to get to know them a little bit more today. So I'd like to say a big hi to Phil Turner and Lianne Musicka. How you going, guys?
Oh, great. How are you, Brent?
Yeah, good. We're going well.
Excellent. Great to see you. Always have a smile on your face, you guys, which is really good. It's one of the things that endures you to people. You guys have been with Flanagan Chugg Taekwondo for a long time now. We might start our chat with Flanagan and Chugg because a lot of people know of them. They're perhaps the biggest Taekwondo club in the state, I would think, especially from the numbers of clubs that you have around the place and the number of players that you have within the club. So maybe, I don't know who wants to go first, maybe Lianne, because you wear the higher grade than Phil, so that probably makes sense. How did you first come across Flanagan and Chugg Taekwondo?
Years ago, I used to train with Matthew Chugg Taekwondo, and in 2004, Matthew and Mike merged their clubs together to become Flanagan and Chugg Taekwondo. So that was 16 years ago they merged. It's a big club. We've got little clubs all over the state. We've even got one down in Hobart, and Georgetown. Yeah, we used to have them. I think there used to be 26 little clubs all up, right, years and years ago.
Yeah.
But of course, that number's dwindled down a bit, as numbers do with all martial arts. You have your peaks and troughs. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, for sure. And I think, you know, with a lot more styles and that prevalent to what they used to be, there's, I guess it's harder for one club to stay as big as what they may have been at one stage. And so, excellent. So first with Chuggy. Now, he moved down to the south of the state or something a few years back, and it's mainly been Mike up this end of the state. Would that be right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Matthew's been down Hobart for quite a few years now, and just been Mike up the north here. Mr. Flanagan himself.
Yes, and hopefully we can get a chat with Mike at some stage too, because that'd be pretty interesting, I think, because he's been around forever, let's face it.
Yes, he has.
Yeah. Okay, so that's your introduction to it, Lianne. What about yourself, Phil? When did you come across the wonderful Korean art of Taekwondo?
95 with Taekwondo. So back in the day, with Grant Cubitt and Paul Burford out of Deloraine, and that was really good for me at the age that I was at 25. It was a very military type style Taekwondo, which I enjoyed. Sort of think about all the funny little bits and pieces that changed along the way, but back then, 95, you know, your girls had to take all their earrings and your jewellery off, because the idea was every martial artist has to look the same. And these two girls got their earrings mixed up, you know, and they're freaking out because they put each other's earrings in there. I mean, today, you know, we're a bit more liberal about how we view things, but back then, you know, it was very, this is it, and this is the way it's going to stay. And all right.
No, for sure, very regimented. So that's sort of, I know, like, I don't know a lot about Taekwondo, I'll be quite honest. I had a brief look on the internet, and it seems that there are two main branches, I guess. And I'm probably wrong here, but I'll have a stab at this. So the ITF came out of South Korea, WTF out of North Korea, ITF more self-defense, WTF more sport-oriented. Is that
correct,
wrong, or is it something like that?
That's exactly right. Yeah, exactly right.
Cool. Excellent. Okay, so
done your research.
Which side of the dice do they fall on? ITF or WTF?
We're WTF style. We use the WTF forms or Pumse, and a bit more of a self-defense side of things as well. So we use their forms, but we sort of do a bit of a mixture, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I see online, and you know, with the stuff that you do in your demos and things like that, that you do have a strong self-defense side of your style.
Yeah.
Is that something that's highly promoted in your clubs?
I like to. My thoughts are that if people are coming to train, they're coming to train for a couple of reasons. And you've got to get a lot of women and grandmas and little kids that come and train to learn how to defend themselves in today's society, basically.
Yeah.
And I think that people need to know how to defend themselves. Phil's got a nice little story about that.
Yeah, I mean, I remember back in the day, back to Ree, and I remember one little girl very bravely said to Paul Burford, the instructor at the time, was pretty regimental. And the question was, why are you so hard on us? And he said, well, straight off the line with an answer, he's gone, well, if I see you on the back of the milk carton, I know that I've done everything that I possibly can to avoid that. And I will continue to eat my eggs and bacon and drink my coffee knowing I've done the best job I could, because everything that you do in class, you train hard for that real example. If it happens, you'll respond in a hard fashion. And was there any more questions? And there was certainly none. And it was a pretty tough class from there on in.
Yeah.
But they're the sorts of things, and that's the way that it was taught back in the day. The thing I like about Flanagan and Chugg, I've got a daughter, and she's autistic, highly functional, but really struggled with confidence. Flanagan and Chugg, with their programs before you get to white, you know, with the purples and the orange belts and stuff, with the lower end stuff for the little ones, that was fantastic. I mean, she used to train with her hands on her ears, and I thought she'll never be able to do it. I think that's what she thought too. And then she said, well, Dad, can you do it with me? And I'll be honest, I was sitting on the sideline itching, you know, like you tell yourself that you've got the T-shirt and I won't go back, and then all of a sudden you see it and you just instantly attracted.
So children like that, kids, anybody, doesn't matter who you are or what your abilities are, coming to any form of martial arts should be able to teach you to be able to defend yourself out there on the street. Yeah,
I totally agree with that, for sure. Now, I guess at this point we should say that you guys are the instructors at Bracknell, Flanagan and Chugg Taekwondo.
I'm the assistant.
Okay. I can see that's important too, Phil.
We'll continue to
on the boss. Yeah, no, good. So how long has Bracknell Club been operational?
Bracknell started in 2007.
Right.
Yeah, we've been going for a while. We shut down for about 12 months because I actually went overseas for 6 months and I trained over there.
Okay.
While I was over there. It was really interesting. Right. So when I came back and then I injured myself. Tore my calf muscle and partially tore my Achilles. So that was fun. So we had to have a little bit longer off, and then I restarted it up again and went for a little while, and then young Phil came out here and gave me a hand.
Yeah. And you can't get rid of him ever since, I can see. So that's good.
It's good because he's got his skills too, which he's got different skills coming from a ITF background.
Yeah.
And a strong militaristic sort of attacking background. So some of the stuff that he's done previously, we've been able to sort of mix and incorporate into our class, into our self-defense and stuff like that, you know, to make people even, you know, more safer and more secure out there, where they're out there on the street.
Yeah, no, that's it. So the Bracknell community is a strong little community out there. They seem, there's a strong sense of community, and I know that they have their little days and things and that, and you guys go along and you do some demonstrations, involve the community. Is that a big part of what you do out there at your club?
We're really community orientated. Bracknell's a very community orientated town, which is really good. Everybody looks out for each other. Everybody helps each other out. You know, they the school have movie nights. The parents and friends run movie nights once a year, and we'll go out there and we'll donate as well, and we'll go out there and we'll do a performance, a self-defense demonstration or something, get the kids involved, and we'll try and get the audience involved.
Yeah.
Sometimes we have some great fun, like you have some sword combat with picking people out of the audience. So, yeah, it's really good.
I'm sure they love it.
We do our best to get them in, don't we?
Yeah, we do our best to get them in. That's exactly right.
Yeah, no,
that's exactly right.
Yeah, no, that's really good. So, Lianne, you said you headed overseas. You did some training over there. Whereabouts were you doing the training?
In Newcastle, England. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
And what
Master
did you
Brian.
find? Yeah. Yeah. How did you find the standard over there compared to what we do here in Tassie?
Well, this club was actually fairly similar to ours, I must say. Some of the things they do is a little bit different, of course, because they're a little bit more to the WTF style than we are.
Yeah.
But it was really good, very interesting. Master Brian had just come back from Korea, where it goes over and they change the forms every now and then to try and improve them and make them better. So he actually came back with a couple of changes, which was good. And they were just simple little things like moving the foot forward instead of it back because you're moving towards your opponent and stuff like that. And I thought, that's really great. It makes a lot of sense. So I was able to take a little bit back from that as well. Yeah, really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's always good to get a fresh perspective on things that you're doing, and you find when you go into a totally different environment like that there are little things, but they can certainly add to what you're already doing. So it sounds like that was exactly the case. Now you've got, within Flanagan and Chugg, you've got some great martial artists there that have been around the landscape for a long time. I know that you guys get a lot of input from Ben and Sam, of course. Do you have a regular amount of different instructors coming along and adding their little bits to your club? Is that a regular thing you do?
Not as regular as we'd like. It's a bit hard for people with work commitments and all the other training sessions that are going on, but we try our best. We try to get around the different clubs because we have got some great instructors. You've got Naomi Brown now, isn't she? Yeah, up at Waverley. Naomi's she came from Mike Flanagan's Fight Back system, like all those years ago as well. So she's been with Flanagan and Chugg since the start as well.
Yeah.
She's a great instructor. Ben Munting, of course, who's also great. And Brandy Lee. Everyone knows Brandy Lee, Ryan. Yeah.
They do. Yeah.
Yeah. and of course, Mike himself, man.
Yeah, we cross-train a fair bit as instructors, don't we? Really?
We do. I'd like to get down to Hobart to Hannah a bit more. She's a bit more isolated down there, but she's absolutely lovely as well. Really great instructor.
Yeah.
So we're pretty lucky. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. And you got guys like Mark, who's got a couple of clubs that are a little bit further out, so he must do a little bit of travelling to get to those. So it's really good commitment from guys like that, and they're the sort of people that you love to have around your club.
Does a great job. Yeah, he's lives out that way, I believe, out Westbury Way, and he has Westbury and Latrobe, and does a great job with all of that, and his little Facebook page posts and stuff to help keep people practicing and training at home, and which is great. Yeah, he's very interesting man because he came from a Maree background as well. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. So I've known his brother for a long time because they came through Musicka as well, of course. And Chris
was one of our instructors as well all those moons ago. Chris and Kathy Colocci.
No, great people.
One of my old bosses used to actually do Sanchikai as well. His name was Richard Guy.
Oh, yes, I know Richard, of course.
Yeah.
Yes, he had the dojo out at Roachley and Mowbray, and there are a lot of excellent juniors that came through his club. That have gone on. So fantastic. A couple of years ago, Bracknell Club won the Division 1 Shield, which is a great effort for a small club.
It is.
Yeah, and you guys are super proud of that, I can see. It's just,
we are.
Which is awesome. So every year, Flanagan and Chugg get together and you have your annual dinner. It seems like a pretty big event for you guys. So I guess that's something that you look forward to on your calendar?
Oh, it's the only time we get to dress up, really, isn't it?
And it is fun to see who got what shields for what and whatnot.
Yeah, and it's good socialising with other people you don't get to see very often because, you know, your club's your family, isn't it?
Yeah,
So,
100%, sure is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's good to get in and socialise with them and see what's going on and see everybody out of a obok and, you know, in normal clothes. Sometimes you don't recognise people.
And of course, you know, we are spread out pretty well, so a lot of the times we don't get to see each other for another 12 months or at a comp, so it is good.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
for sure. And
especially
you
when
guys,
we're in the shield.
You guys, Lianne. Others will get jealous.
You guys are great. I love the biplay between you. You guys have been big supporters of the Sanchikai Kids Tournament. Kids are a big focus, not only at your club, but throughout Flanagan and Chugg. A big emphasis on bringing the kids through, which is fantastic. Really good programs for kids in Flanagan and Chugg.
Yeah. We do school holiday programs during the year, so kids can go and train, give mum and dad an hour or two, you know, peace and quiet, but they're able to develop their skills and that as well, which is good.
Yeah,
keeps them going. We have the tinies classes, so the under 6-year-olds, it's 4 to 6, but I've had students on the floor that are 2.5 and 3, so. Yeah, absolutely great. And it's great seeing them up there, and I love seeing them when they get on the floor and they actually listen to what you say. I mean, 15 minutes you might be lucky for the first class, but the second time they come back it's a bit longer until they're standing there with real serious looks on their face and trying real hard. They love it. It's great. They're so cute.
Yes, no, they are. It's definitely rewarding instructing the children. There's no doubt about that. So that's sort of one side of your club. Where do you think Flanagan and Chugg is going to be when we come out of this lockdown? Everyone seems pretty keen. You're doing a lot of live stuff. You think we're going to be getting up and running, and you think we're going to have a decline after this, or do you think we're going to pick up people because of this situation?
I think people just want to, as I say, jump out and have a go. I think the first thing people are going to wonder about is their fitness. What can I remember? I think I'll just go out of curiosity to see how much I've still retained. And I think once you get there and do that first class, I think you'll be back on track. That's my thoughts.
I think we might get a burst of new students, people just wanting to get out of the house, being locked down for so long, and being unfit because they're sitting there watching Netflix, eating bags of Doritos or whatever, you know.
Too much Netflix for everyone, I think, at the moment.
Yeah, too much Netflix, yeah. So I think we'll get a burst of numbers for a little while. People just want to get out.
Yeah, and give it a try. Yeah, for sure. So how have you found doing the online stuff? Because it's something that's new to a lot of us. And do you think it's going to be something that continues on in some sort of format? Obviously not exactly the same after this. I mean, I know you guys have got a lot of online stuff on the Flanagan Chugg website, that sort of stuff, but this has been a totally different thing, live communications. How have you gone about doing that, and what do you think about it continue on afterwards?
We've been using the live Facebook platform and recording live sessions like that. I think they're great. I actually enjoy them. I enjoyed the one the other night.
When you were telling Phil what to
Bracknell
do.
Gym and I lost reception. So I had to get Phil to demonstrate. So I put him on the spot basically.
Yeah. Phil was supposed to go down there with the camera.
Ah, right. Yeah. No, I actually enjoyed that one. It was good. It was off the cuff and it was lovely. Yeah. Good.
Yes. So that was fun. So I've actually enjoyed them. I think they've been great. People can practice at home, and I think even when we go back, I think little things like that will help people practice at home.
Yeah.
Make people practice at home and keep them inspired about their martial arts. Maybe there's only a class once a week and they can't get to another class, but they can practice at home because they can look at the live recordings or watch them back later on.
And I think students like to see instructors doing the forms that they're trying to go for, whatever it is. I think students enjoy that.
Yeah.
rather than watching something on YouTube that we all do, and we practice the thing back to front, and then we go to our class and the instructor says that's the wrong way.
I've seen that
Kind of
before. I've seen that before.
Yeah.
Not calling anyone out, Maria Campbell, but yeah.
Not at all by the sounds, no. Now, Phil, you like your classic cars?
Yes. I've had a fair range from XB 2-doors to trainers. I like them all. I've got an SLR at the moment that I've restored for the last few years, and I love that. Before that, I had an XY, and I probably enjoyed that more, but I had to sell it once the guns collapse. I went through it. It was just part and parcel. There was a few tears as it went down the driveway, if I remember rightly.
So,
yeah. But it's been a good thinker of mine along the way. Probably won't do it again. It's a big commitment. Once you can pull them apart in a day, and they seem to take 10 years to put back together. So just for anyone out there that's thinking, I'll just get that old car and it won't take too long and it won't cost too much, it's a pretty expensive hobby.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I've got a good mate of mine that works with me. He's had a project on the go for a lot of years, and every time I talk to him about it, it'll be ready at Christmas time. It'll be ready at Christmas time, and that's been for a few Christmases now. So yes, it's a big undertaking. So I do commend you for actually getting them back on the road, mate. That's awesome. Yeah. And so further, Phil, just having a little bit of a troll through some of the Facebook posts I've seen you in. I believe, now this, Lianne might be able to tell us whether this is true or not, that you do have some very good karaoke skills. See how serious I am here?
It's the level of enthusiasm, I believe, how much enthusiasm that you have before the event seems to be get that mix right. And speaking clearly about that point is about when the best karaoke is, and so we can't quite figure out what it is that I'm trying to talk about, I think. But yes.
It's great. Really, it's awesome. I loved it. The guy at Rock and Hot Pizza loved it too, and asked him to come up and sing with him.
So maybe there's something in your future there, Phil.
It could be. Yeah, look, it could be untapped at this stage. You're right.
Yeah, well, see, now that we've moved into since we moved into this online world, maybe there's a ready-made market ready to go that are willing to, put their money out and get some more of Phil Turner on the mic.
I think Ben Munting was also pretty well. We're going to do it together. Yeah. I'm just waiting on Ben. He'll get back to me at some stage, no doubt, on when we're going to start out.
I think Ben's a little busy at the moment with a new arrival, I believe.
He is.
Yes. Oh, it's very exciting for him.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Yeah. Now, you guys have children. Are they involved in martial arts at all? Any of them?
All of them at some point.
At some point they were, yeah. I've got 3 boys, Michael, Gary and Wade. Originally, we started taekwondo because Gary wanted to start when he was little, of course, way back when. And he started, and then me and the other 2 boys started. They got through to their first Dan black. But then, of course, being teenage boys, they've gone off and done something else. Michael's played football all his life as well, so he prioritised his football over his martial arts.
Yeah.
Wade went and joined the army and
broke his ankle.
Yeah. He went and joined the army. So they all sort of got out of it at some stage in their teens. They've all come back and trained with me over the years as well. And Wade used to help me out every now and then. If I got stuck at work, he'd start the class for me. So, it's pretty good.
That's great. Yeah.
They're all grown up now, so, yeah. And your 2?
My 2, yeah. So young Jake, he started when he was 4. He's 9 now. So,
he's nearly 10.
Yeah, nearly 10. And Georgia, she started when she was 7. And so she's nearly 15, and she's junior black.
She's straight and bow.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So it's been a big ride for Georgia, as I said in those earlier classes to start from the beginning and get to where she is. I'm very proud of her.
Oh, she can whack a good kick in too. She's great.
I'm
And
sure she can. Yeah.
Jake's brilliant. He's like Jean-Claude Van Damme. Do you remember the movie No Retreat, No Surrender? That's
Of course I do. Yes.
That's the first time I'd ever seen him. I loved it. I've seen it so many times. And I love how he sits up on the ropes in the split position. Well, Jake can do that.
Wow.
We'll put two kick pads on their sides, and he'll just put his feet on either one and just sit in that position and bounce there. He's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That is amazing. Yeah, for sure. No, that's great that your kids can get involved along the journey. And if like my guys and a lot of children that you've trained over the years, you only have them for a certain amount of time. It's only a very small percentage that do make it through the seniors, because there's so much going on for the teenagers when they get to that age where they're working out they like girls or boys or whatever it might be, and they get their car licenses and they start heading out and doing other stuff. So we do only have them for a small amount of time. So it's great that we can bring them up to a certain level, and then they make their own decisions, I think. And I think that's what junior martial arts has always been about. Give them the tools to head out into the world by themselves.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
And like, for me, having a taekwondo background and then starting a business and all the rest of it, and being away from it for a period of time, and small kids, and then going back there with the kids and doing it together. And you'd like to think that your own kids at some stage would get into taekwondo. Parents taken to revolve in the same sort of formula over and over again.
Yeah. No, 100%. Look, I think we've covered most of the stuff that we wanted to cover. Is there anything you guys would like to add to the chat? Any hopes for the future? Anything, ideas about how we've been going during the lockdown period? What you want your students to come back doing? Hopefully they've been doing something, that sort of stuff.
Well, hopefully they've been practicing at home. That'd be good. We put up all this live stuff for them to practice, so hopefully that's what they're doing. I'm just hoping that people get out of it and get back into martial arts. Doesn't matter what form of martial arts, just get out there and get into it. Yeah. It's good for socialising. It's good for fitness. It's good fun, and it's good for self-defence. And it doesn't matter what sort of you like to do, whether it be wrestling around on the ground or with your BJJs and stuff, or whether it be competition style, or whether it just be self-defence. Just get out there and do it. That's what I reckon. Yeah,
great message. Yeah, for sure. And I think the aim of these chats is to galvanise our Tassie scene a little bit with the instructors, give us something to have a listen to, and really, really happy that you guys said yes when I shot the message out to you that you'd like to do it, because we haven't had anyone from Taekwondo before, and you guys are a big part of the landscape, especially up this end of the state. So I thank you very much for that, and I hope everyone that doesn't know a lot about Taekwondo, listen into this, get a bit of an insight to what you guys do, and have a better appreciation for it. So thank you very much for that, guys.
Oh, thanks for having us.
Exactly. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, it's been great.
Yeah.
Great.
Okay. And hopefully we can catch up soon. We can get our juniors tournament underway. May not be this year by the looks, but and because you're
next year,
we'll be there.
Definitely
we'll be next year. Get out of this COVID thing next year. We'll be up there and we'll be watching those kids having a bit of fun and getting to know people from different styles and clubs and making friendships.
Yeah, that's the important thing. So all very good stuff, guys. Thank you very much for your time this morning. I'll let you get about your Saturday, and hopefully we can catch up in person soon. Thank you, guys.
Okay, thanks, Brent.
Thanks,
Bye.
Bye.